newcomers in all of basketball than these two guys.
A warm welcome now, ladies and gentlemen, and forward at 6'9", 205 pounds from North Carolina, number 24, Bobby Jones.
The NBA on CBS. Today's show is sponsored by Holiday Inn, who welcomes you to its people-pleasing hotels. The Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Chevrolet and Chevrolet dealers coast to coast.
From the McNichols Sports Arena in Denver, Colorado, the NBA on CBS presents the Philadelphia 76ers and the Denver Nuggets. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan with John Havlicek here in Denver, and that standing ovation for a member of the opposition is a rare thing. It was, of course, for former Nugget star Bobby Jones making his first appearance back here. We're playing an afternoon game with the Nuggets having played last night at home. John, what kind of a factor will that be for them?
Well, that's one of the things that happens during this part of the season. It happens to every team, and I know that they're going to be ready to play. One of the things they have to be concerned with is the San Diego Clippers, because they're breathing down their back right now, and they're only 1 or 2 games out, and the Western Division is one that's really tight this year, so the Nuggets have to come out and really play to win this game. They are not going to be able to coast like they have in the past.
2 second-place teams in their respective divisions. The Nuggets have won 3 in a row. The 76ers have lost their last 2. A sellout crowd to welcome back Bobby Jones here today, and even the coaches, I think, are aware of the special excitement that this game has this afternoon in Denver. Earlier, we spoke with both Billy Cunningham and Donnie Walsh of the Denver Nuggets.
Well, I think our game plan will be the same as it is in every game. We're going to try to hold our own on the boards, and I think that'll be the key to the game, and try to get our break out, get our players on the floor breaking. If we don't have the break, I think it's really important for us to pull up and get into a set offense so we can use our offensive rebounding strength.
How about the matchups?
Well, we'll probably match up in the beginning Bobby Wilkerson on Julius if he's playing. Dan Issel will be on Caldwell Jones, and George McGinnis will be on Bobby Jones. Depending on, I'm not sure about the matchups in the backcourt at this time, but I don't think that's a real, importance, because both players that I have can play defense, and either one of theirs.
Okay, Donnie Walsh. John Havlicek is standing by with Philadelphia coach Billy Cunningham.
Billy, today you have a very important game for you, and I know that you're concerned about your backcourt, particularly with David Thompson having the height advantage. What is your game plan, and how are you going to defend David Thompson?
Well, to start with, John, we won't gamble defensively, double teaming. What we'll try and do is have Henry Bibby will start with him. There's quite a height disadvantage on our part. We'll have him deny the ball as much as he can with David, allowing David to go back door, but then he needs the help from the other players. We might have to adjust during the course of the game by double teaming him and scrambling a little bit defensively, but that's a problem, and also containing them on their offensive boards. They're a very powerful team there.
Okay, thank you, Billy. Now let's go back to Tim Ryan.
All right, John Havlicek, we're ready to play basketball here in Denver. The Nuggets will be in white, the Sixers in red. There are the starters. Julius Erving did not play Friday night in San Diego. He's bothered by an ankle and will not start here today, but we do expect to see him in the game at some point. Caldwell Jones will move to the forward spot with Dawkins playing at center, and it'll be it'll be Caldwell Jones and Issel for the tap, and it's taken by Dawkins and lost immediately, turned over to the Nuggets, and we're just underway. George McGinnis, who came over from Philadelphia in the deal for Bobby Jones, passing to Charlie Scott. He misses the first shot of the game. Cheeks back for the Sixers. Cheeks and Bibby in the backcourt. Dawkins is the center. Bobby Jones and Caldwell Jones for Philadelphia. And the rebound by McGinnis, knocked out of bounds by Caldwell Jones, and it's Denver ball. Charlie Scott and David Thompson in the backcourt for Denver. McGinnis and Bobby Wilkerson up front with the center Dan Issel. Last night, a most impressive victory over Milwaukee. Bobby Wilkerson gets the first points on the board.
Bobby Wilkerson, early in the season, started off very well, shooting quite a high percentage. Recently, he's not been shooting that well, and I'm sure that's going to help him in today's game, hitting that first one.
Wilkerson, one of the versatile Nuggets, can play both backcourt and front court. Playing it forward today. Thompson this season is center guard all the way. Thompson down for the Nuggets. For Charlie Scott in the corner, Wilkerson. Caldwell Jones on the rebound. Bibby back. Maurice Cheeks, the rookie, driving. Can't go. McGinnis. Charlie Scott. Issel can't get it away as it's blocked by Maurice Cheeks. Nifty pass.
Good hands by Cheeks that time. Issel pulling up for the jump shot, had the ball at his waist position. Cheeks, being small, was able to take it away from him.
George McGinnis leading the Nuggets in scoring, 23.4 average. Wilkerson again. Darryl Dawkins way up there to rebound. Had lots of room. Bibby for the Sixers. That won't go. McGinnis rebounding. Wilkerson to Scott. Issel over Dawkins. Rebound Caldwell Jones. Still 2-0 Denver. First period, Tim Ryan and John Havlicek live from the Nichols Sports Arena in Denver. Henry Bibby, watched by Thompson.
Here we have Henry Bibby setting up for a shot. Gives a little fake, comes into the middle and trips over David Thompson. Actually, it was a play that could have gone either way, or it may have not have been called at all.
Well, it was called against Thompson. Bobby Jones to Cheeks. Maurice Cheeks. Caldwell Jones. McGinnis fouling Jones.
I think that one of the things the 76ers are going to try and do is get the ball down low. Here we have Caldwell Jones on a mismatch. He's about 7 feet tall against George McGinnis, who's 6'8". And if they can get inside with Jones and Dawkins, they're certainly going to be able to have that height advantage. Conversely, in the backcourt, the Nuggets have much better size against Bibby and Cheeks, with David Thompson at 6'4" and Charlie Scott at 6'6".
Okay, play one.
2-1 as we look at the NBA scoring leaders. George Gervin continuing to do a great job for San Antonio. Lloyd Free right behind him. Is he having fun in San Diego? Jones makes the pair and we're tied at 2. Caldwell Jones. Nuggets bring it up. David Thompson. McGinnis.
76ers were in a pressure defense that time, picking him up all over the floor, and once they got by that front line, Thompson made a great play to McGinnis for the easy layup.
McGinnis and Thompson are right together in scoring on the Nuggets. McGinnis 23-4, Thompson 23-3. Darryl Dawkins. Rebound McGinnis, and he has been a tower of strength on the boards early. McGinnis. And this one. 6-2 Denver.
Good play by George McGinnis. That's one of the advantages of a guy that size with that speed. He plays like a big man and a small man. Came down with the rebound, was able to take it up the floor all the way, dish it off for an easy layup. Good play by George.
Bibby underneath Caldwell Jones. This'll line up. Henry Bibby with an iron, and McGinnis again. And he let out with a whoop as he grabbed that rebound.
Well,
Thompson. This'll on the rebound. Dan
There's a lot of talk about Bobby Jones being here, but I'm sure that George McGinnis, once it proved that that trade is going to be beneficial for Denver too, and he's playing like it. He's going to be keyed up for this game.
Philadelphia. Cheeks for Dawkins, trying to keep it alive. It comes to Charlie Scott. Bobby Wilkerson. Caldwell Jones. They'll pick up the foul.
Here we have Bobby Wilkerson going to the hoop, and Caldwell Jones not moving his feet quite enough, getting in the way, being called for the foul. Now let's take a timeout.
8:25 remaining, first period.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
You're confirmed in Chicago and St. Louis, and you're going to love the ending.
Meet our people-pleasing faces.
Holiday Inn Hotels are #1 in the world, with the best locations near where you want to be.
I can walk.
The most popular choice of locations. We want to make you comfortable.
Holiday Inn is #1 people-pleasing.
For days you fought the mountain for a 90-ton slab of granite. And now you hold your breath while you bring it out until it swings free and clear. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear, Miller Beer.
This is it.
This is it, America, the new Chevrolet.
America, if you're looking for a full-size car that goes easy on the gas.
This is it.
And easy on the road.
This is it.
A car with all kinds of room inside.
This is it.
The new Chevrolet, a new generation car bought and embraced by more than 1 million people in its first 2 years. Caprice and Impala for 1979.
This is it, America, the new Chevrolet.
Coming next, except on the West Coast, see the top touring pros in action. The Glenn Campbell Los Angeles Open. From tee to green, you'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Julius Erving on the Philadelphia bench, bothered by a sore ankle. He did work in the warm-up, but apparently not ready to go. Missed the game Friday night, the loss in San Diego. Re-injured the ankle last weekend. Wilkerson on the line for Denver makes it 9-2.
The 76ers have not scored a field goal yet, and I think that one of the keys thus far in the game is the team speed of Denver. They've been able to get up and down the floor real well and get some good easy layups.
Maurice Cheeks bringing it up court. Rookie from West Texas State. Third in assists on the team, 312 coming into the game today. Billy Cunningham's very happy with this youngster. Bobby Jones all the way over to Caldwell Jones, and Caldwell hits from way outside.
It's amazing, both Caldwell Jones and Daryl Dawkins have taken shots, and they've both been 18-foot jumpers. I'd like to think that Billy would want to see him in a little closer.
McGinnis driving. Issel follows. 11-4, Denver. Caldwell Jones' basket was the first field goal. They had missed their first 5 tries from the field, Philadelphia. Bibby driving. Calling it on Bibby. Offensive foul. Bibby and Billy Cunningham both unhappy. They thought Thompson was in the way.
Well, I think that Billy thought one official called it one way and the other called it the other way, so they had to go with Jake O'Donnell's call on that particular play.
David Thompson, top of the key over Bibby, won't go. Bibby rebound. Denver 11, Philadelphia 4. 7:24 remaining first period. Maurice Cheeks from the corner. 11-6.
Maurice Cheeks has been the only rookie that the 76ers have had since the inception of a club in Philadelphia to start every game.
Wilkerson to Issel. The officials today are Jake O'Donnell, Tom Nunez, and Dick Bavetta. We neglected to mention them at the top. Paul A.G. to the officiating floor. David Thompson on Bibby. Cheeks has it. 2-on-2. Cheeks with Bibby. Now gets some help, and it's broken up by Wilkerson. Charlie Scott. McGinnis. George McGinnis having a great start in this game. Had 5 of the first 6 rebounds, and he's got 4 points and going to the line.
Here we have a fast break situation. Charlie Scott drawing the defense, bringing it over to George McGinnis in for the layup. Charlie Scott was the person that they acquired this year, hoping that he could be a leader on the team, take care of the fast break, and dish it off. Last night he had an excellent game. I believe he had about 9 assists, and he's continuing to do the same thing today.
Henry Bibby comes back for the Nuggets. For the 76ers, pardon me, and that's Bobby Jones. Got mild applause. Once he starts to score, I'm not sure how much Denver will love him. They remember him well. David Thompson. Wilkerson underneath McGinnis. Caldwell Jones on the block. Bobby Jones on the rebound, but it's turned over to Issel. McGinnis. Wilkerson. 15-8, Denver. 76ers have turned it over 6 times. The Nuggets only once so far. Daryl Dawkins covered by Issel. Caldwell Jones rebounds. And the Sixers close the gap to 5. Denver 15, Philadelphia 10.
We had Caldwell Jones in that time, inside that time, and he was not blocked out. If you don't block out a man his size, you're going to get hurt.
Issel from Scott. Daryl Dawkins just going up there enough to distract Issel, who missed the rim entirely. Back come the Sixers. Jones pass underneath, picked off by McGinnis. McGinnis is doing it all here in this first period at Denver.
The The Nuggets are collapsing very well defensively, and they've caused a lot of turnovers for the 76er club.
Bobby Jones rebounding. Eric Money just into the game, gets his first basket.
Billy Cunningham's very happy with him because he has that ability to penetrate, play one-on-one. The shot clock is running down. That's the type of person you like to give the ball to because he's going to get a good percentage shot. They're happy with that acquisition.
Eric Money, number 22, and wow, what a collision there. That's a bit of a physical mismatch. Dan Issel driving, little Eric Money in the way.
Here we have Dan Issel cutting off a pick set by Charlie Scott on the switch. Eric Money happens to get in a little too close to Dan Issel and causes the foul.
Money in for Maurice Cheeks, coming over from the New Jersey Nets in a recent deal along with Al Skinner, or Simpson, and Harvey Catchings. Issel at the line, 15-12, Denver 3-point lead. Well, around the NBA, the most important department next to scoring is the man who gives you the ball, and there you see the leader, Kevin Porter in Detroit. Lucas from Golden State, right up at the top. 17-12, 5-point margin Denver. Money underneath to Irving now in the game. We expected we'd see the doctor before the day was out. Bibby over Issel. Oh, it spun all the way around that rim. Loose ball foul called on number 41. Boswell, Tommy Boswell. You know a little bit about him. We were talking about him last night, John, a former teammate of yours, and you think he could be a good addition here.
Yes, indeed. He's played more minutes this year already than he did in his whole 3 years with Boston. He has a tendency not to move his feet on defense, and that time he let Julius Irving get the inside position. He came over his back and caused the foul.
Caldwell Jones for Philadelphia makes it 17-14. Robert Smith. Irving comes down with the rebound. Eric Money and controls to Irving. The doctor off the front rim. McGinnis up again. Ferocious under the defensive boards, particularly in this first period. Darrell Dawkins rebounding for the Sixers. Eric Money for Caldwell Jones. Tried to get it to Irving. Boswell picks it up.
Very difficult pass for a big man to handle.
George McGinnis.
George is getting out on the break. He has about 3 of those layups. He's leaving the defense behind, and it's a good transition game for George. He likes it this way.
6 points for McGinnis. The doctor, top of the key, watched by Boswell. Look at this play set up.
We had Julius Irving on an isolation on the right side, being guarded by Boswell, feeling that maybe this is one of the things that they can do. Tom Boswell one-on-one with Irving, getting him across the arm.
4th team foul against the Nuggets. George McGinnis gets a well-deserved rest, leaving with 6 points. And he has been a terror on the boards, particularly under his own basket.
We have Anthony Roberts in, the second-year man from Oral Roberts, who played a very good and important part of the season for the Nuggets last year. He was hurt earlier this year. Here we have the rebound leaders. Moses Malone leading with 17.5.
Irving misses on the free throw, and the score stands 19-14, a 5-point Denver margin. Robert Smith, double team, gets it off. Charlie Scott driving, foul. Basket counts.
They had a double team in the backcourt, and that allowed Charlie Scott to be the free guard. They got the ball up quickly to him. He split the defenders, went in for the layup. Charlie can go the hoop as well as anyone in the league. He's quick and he's big for a guard, 6'6".
Charlie Scott had himself quite a game last night, 18 points. And he is the assist leader, and we enjoyed watching that performance last night. A big win for Denver over Milwaukee. They really did a job on him. 132-117 here at McNichols Sports Arena. Money trying to get it to Caldwell Jones. Denver picks it off. Robert Smith. Issel following. Jones blocks. Issel again. And that's good, and he's fouled. 24-14. Denver.
Here we have Robert Smith on the fast break attempt. He does not get it down, but Dan Issel has good inside position. They had 4-on-2. He was able to maintain that inside position, get the rebound for the reverse layup, and draw the foul.
Darryl Dawkins gets a rest. Steve Mix into the game for Philadelphia. So Mix and Irving on the forwards. Caldwell Jones moves into the middle. Henry Bibby and Eric Money the guards. For Denver, Issel at the line is the center. Boswell is in at forward, number 41. Anthony Roberts, number 21. Charlie Scott and Robert Smith are the guards. 3:05 remaining first period. Issel makes it 25-14, a three-point play, Denver. Bibby for the Sixers. Blocked by Robert Smith. Bibby, good shot. Henry Bibby, 25-16. Henry Bibby started all 82 games last year for the 76ers. Only player to do that. We've got 2:47 remaining first period. Denver 25, Philadelphia 16.
Head and Shoulders doesn't have it. Selsun Blue doesn't have it. Only Denerex has it. An extra relief medicine to stop dandruff itch. You can feel it tingle.
All three have one medicine for dandruff itch, but only Denerex adds a second medicine, an exclusive anti-itch medicine many dermatologists recommend.
You can feel it tingle. That's extra relief medicine, and only Denerex has it.
Denerex stops dandruff itch with extra relief medicine no leading shampoo has.
Attention Track 2 users, attention Atra users. Get ready for really clean shaving. Introducing Ultrex from Schick Super 2, the only twin blades with one push cleaning. Watch, one push pushes out soap and stubble for a clean start on really close shaves. Look, Ultrex slides on Track 2 razors, clicks on Atra razors. Get new Ultrex with one push cleaning. Only Schick Super 2 Ultrex has one push cleaning.
Introducing Hertz Takeoff Rates. Save up to 35% on the average weekday rental when you take off Thursday through Sunday for a minimum of 2 to 3 days. Take off in a subcompact for only $13.95 a day. Fairmont's $15.95. Granada $17.95. Thunderbirds $21.95 a day. All with no charge for mileage. There are some restrictions, so check with Hertz. Take off next weekend with Hertz Low Takeoff Rates.
Well, we're under orders from our director, Tony Verna, to make sure you know about this show tonight, the Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. 26 television and movie stars taking part in head-to-head sports competition. And among them, you'll see in billiards, Suzanne Summers against Sammy Davis Jr. Should be a lot of fun. It was directed by our very own Tony Verna, working here today in Denver. David Thompson, and he's fouled. Henry Bibby complains, but he gets the call.
This is one of the things that Billy Cunningham was concerned with. He does not have Doug Collins in the backcourt because of that surgery that he had for a bone spur. We have Henry Bibby at about 6 feet trying to guard David Thompson, 6'4", and I'm sure that the Nuggets are going to try and get Thompson inside a lot with Bibby.
Billy Cunningham said he thought maybe Collins would make it back before the end of the season. It was thought that he may not be able to return before the end of the regular season play, but Billy, knowing what a great competitor Doug is, thinks maybe he might get back.
Well, let's hope so, because he's one of the great players in the NBA today, and I think everyone enjoys watching a player like Doug Collins.
Sure, you bet. Eric Money won't go. 2 Nugget rebounders there, and they do control Boswell to Thompson. Robert Smith. This is Boswell, Smith again. Roberts for Thompson. Look at him jump. Over Irving, banks it 29-16.
Here we had the mismatch again. They're starting to go to David. That time Julius tried to help out, but was just a little too late.
Steve Mix, watched by Boswell. Mix, that won't go. Again, the Denver rebound, but off Roberts. It'll be Philadelphia ball. Roberts couldn't hang on.
Here we have Al Skinner into the game. Since they started to go against Henry Bibby, they're going to put someone with a little size in there to guard David Thompson. Al Skinner.
Eric Money, he's fouled. Looks like Robert Smith. Yes, it is.
Here we have that last play. We have Eric Money going one-on-one, getting Robert Smith out of position, hitting him on the back of the heels and across the back.
Tim Ryan and John Havlicek in Denver. Eric Money on the line for Philadelphia. Money and Al Skinner coming over from New Jersey in that catching Simpson deal after Collins got hurt. The block shot leaders in the NBA currently, Abdul-Jabbar, 3.78 atop the standings. No great surprise, but there are some fine shot blockers in this NBA. Thompson brings it up for Denver with the score 29-18. The Nuggets in front. Boswell, number 41, to Anthony Roberts. Foul called. Roberts will go to the line. Skinner picks up his first.
Both teams in the penalty situation now also.
Anthony Roberts been bothered by a viral infection, just getting back in as a regular starter up front.
The Nuggets have a lot of players in that 6'5" range that can play both forward and guard, and that's one of the things that a coach likes to see. Because if one person gets hurt, he's able to put a fellow like Roberts at a guard, a fellow like Wilkerson at a guard, and they can also play forward, as well as David Thompson.
Anthony Roberts, second-year man from Oral Roberts, number 2 pick a year ago. Al Skinner, number 30 for the Sixers. Irving. Skinner again. Underneath, Money off for Irving, and it's out of bounds. Denver ball. Take a look at the wraps on Julius Irving. Now he's got his both knees protected. A wrap high on his left thigh.
And you can be sure that both ankles are taken care of,
both ankles, because it's the ankle evidently bothering him. The doctor's legs are bandaged from the toes to the right up to the hip. Boswell and Caldwell Jones, and it'll be jump ball. (31-18), and look at this, the New Jersey Nets and the New York Knicks in a big one. The Nets lead by 2 as they try for the playoff spot. Kevin Lockery doing a fine job with that team. Boswell misses. Rebound by Kim Hughes. Roberts cannot control. It'll be Philadelphia ball. 47 seconds remaining, first period. Kim Hughes, number 35, into the game for Issel for Denver. Caldwell Jones alone underneath.
Good play by Julius Irving. Heads up from midcourt. He saw that the defense had its back turned. He zipped it in there for the easy layup. That's the type of situation you like to see from a player, taking advantage of the obvious.
Hughes for Anthony Roberts. Roberts hits from well out, 33-20. Denver leading. Final seconds of the first period. 16 seconds on the shot clock here. 18 seconds remaining in the period. Skinner is going to use it up as much as he can. Well, they came up empty. 7 seconds left in the period. The 11th turnover for Philadelphia. Nuggets have turned it over only once. David Thompson. Thompson hits with a second remaining. And that'll be it. So the Nuggets explode here in this first quarter. At the end of one, a 15-point margin. The Denver Nuggets 35, the Philadelphia 76ers 20. And we'll return to the McNichols Sports Arena in just a moment.
You know, for too long now, bowlers have been left out of light beer commercials, and football players have been grabbing all the glory. But bowlers know light beer from Miller tastes great. We know light's got a third less calories than the regular beer. We know light's less filling. Bowlers love light just as much as football players.
That's right.
And we also love the easy opening can.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
Last night, this guy sent a package by Federal Express. And if it doesn't get there overnight, he's in big trouble. This guy's waiting for the package 2,000 miles away. And if it doesn't get here this morning, he's in bigger trouble. Obviously, these guys have never used Federal Express before. But it's just like everything else. How can you have confidence in something until you try it and find out if it works?
You got it?
I got it.
Got it?
I got it.
Got it?
Got it. Federal Express, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
I'm Jack Sikma. Signals can warn you of trouble, and we should all know the signals of a heart attack. A pressure in the middle of your chest, like a squeezing or tightening, which may spread to the neck, shoulders, and arms. You may also feel faint, dizzy, sweaty, or sick to your stomach. If you get a warning signal, get help quickly. It could save your life.
This message for the American Heart Association was presented as a public service by the National Basketball Association.
Golden State trying to upset Washington. They're leading 28-22 first period. Another NBA action. Here it's 35-20 after one, and the Philadelphia 76ers won a 109-103 decision in the only previous meeting between the teams this season. November 15th at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, they went into overtime, and Julius Erving scored 10 points in that overtime to lead the Sixers to the victory. This is meeting number 2. Bobby Jones' first appearance back here in Denver since the trade for George McGinnis.
No. He lost the ball, touched it again, that way.
Well, there wasn't much doubt in Mr. O'Donnell's mind about the circumstances of that play.
The 76ers defensively have not been playing very well underneath the defensive boards, and the Nuggets have taken advantage of it real well today.
Steve Mix for the Sixers. 35-22. Sixers in red to our right, Denver in white to our left. Thompson to Anthony Roberts, Dan Issel, George McGinnis. McGinnis, a hot hand. He's got 8 points. Issel led in the first period with 11 for Denver, but McGinnis had 6 rebounds. Caldwell Jones also had 6 for Philadelphia.
Here we have it. Julius Erving working down low, and obviously Anthony Roberts is a little upset about it. He's trying to play him without the ball. That time Tommy Nunes thought that he had a little too much body contact. You can see they're trying to isolate Julius. Here he is on the right side of the floor. No one within 10 feet of him other than a defensive person, but did not make the shot.
Doctor off the back rim, rebound Thompson. David Thompson gets his own rebound to Issel, outside, and that goes out of bounds. We're watching Thompson follow, John. Last night we saw him take a shot from the top of the key against Milwaukee. It bounced off the back iron. He got there before anybody else did with the ball still going up and stuffed it.
One of the things you have to do with David Thompson, as soon as he shoots the shot, you know, you're not going to block his shot, so you may not even attempt to block it. But what you have to do is keep him from going to the board. Block him out, because if you don't, he's going to cause a lot of problems for you.
Bobby Jones hitting for the Sixers. He's got 4 points so far, 2 baskets against his old mates. Anthony Roberts to Issel. George McGinnis. Issel again, watched by Caldwell Jones, off to Robert Smith. That won't go. Skinner on the rebound. Skinner and Money in the backcourt. Mix, Bobby Jones, and Caldwell Jones up front for Philadelphia.
Hey, stay with him,
Al Skinner over Thompson. Rebound McGinnis. David Thompson, number 33. Started down the lane, ran into traffic there. Foul against Eric Money. Wilkerson back in for Denver. Money's second foul. Roberts gets a rest for the Nuggets. Scott will inbounds it. Thompson over Skinner. 39-24.
We also have Charlie Scott in there, and there's another assist for him, getting the ball down low to David Thompson, where he's really effective against some of the smaller people. And actually, Al Skinner's about the same size, but David plays like a person 6'8".
Steve Mix from Bobby Jones.
Beautiful play by Mix. That time the defense started to front and they swung the ball. He kept him on his backside and they dumped it in for him for an easy layup. Good fundamental play by Mix.
39-26 Denver. Issel over Caldwell Jones. 41-26. 13 points for Issel.
Dan, one of the most consistent centers in the league as far as shooting. He does the job every night.
Averaged 21.3 points a game last year. Good rebounder too.
Here we have a situation where last time Steve Mix was able to get the inside position. That time Bobby Wilkerson was not going to allow him to gain that position. Here we have Mix working inside and Wilkerson trying to get around him for the foul.
Magnavox is handing out money during the big Magnavox annual sale. Come in now for a great deal on these Magnavox TouchTune color TVs and get a rebate right on the spot. Save on Decorator stereos, save on Magnavox component systems, and get a rebate right on the spot. and save even more on remote control special bonus offer. The most exciting Magnavox annual sale ever, because Magnavox is handing out money.
Who do you share the power with? The power of Vitalis Super Hold, the pump.
With Tom every morning.
I share it with Jill.
We share the power of the pump. Vitalis Super Hold. The pump keeps
Keeps our
hair looking terrific. Why should women settle for less power when they can get the holding power of the pump? It can hold longer than the leading men's aerosol.
Come on, it's better when you share.
Get the pump, Vitalis Super Hold, and share the power.
You know me as Mr. Goodwrench, the professional mechanic who cares about your GM car. But your participating GM dealer also has a Mr. Goodwrench who cares at the service write-up desk and in the parts department. We're all over the service department, just to be sure your GM car gets Mr. Goodwrench professional care.
You never had it so good.
Keep that great GM feeling
With Mr. Goodwrench.
That's us.
and genuine GM parts.
Next Saturday on the new look CBS Sports Spectacular, see gymnastics in Baton Rouge, Grand Prix racing in South Africa, the fight of the week, and more. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Tim Ryan and John Havlicek at Denver, Colorado. 41-26, Denver leading Philadelphia. Tom Boswell in the game for the Nuggets. Donnie Walsh, their interim coach, taking over after Larry Brown resigned, with a 6-4 record. Big win here last night against Milwaukee. Bobby Jones hits 41-28. Jones for the Sixers. Here's McGinnis, the man he was traded for, back the other way. Off Rissell, top of the keys, got room and hits. Rissell, 15 points.
Good play by George McGinnis. He got inside, drew the defense, and you cannot leave Dan Issel out there because he'll drill it 90% of the time from that range.
Bobby Jones working the far side, number 24 to Mix. Jones, Mix, Skinner, Money, Caldwell Jones. For the Sixers on the floor. Money over Scott, followed by Bobby Jones, and Caldwell Jones finally gets it in.
Give credit to Bobby Jones that time. He kept it alive, allowing Caldwell Jones to get the easy dunk.
43-30. Denver leading. McGinnis over Mix.
I'm sure those two people have seen a lot of each other in the last couple of years in practices and that type of thing. They know each other's moves probably better than anyone.
Yeah, good point, John. 10 points for McGinnis. Here's Mix now. That won't go. Boswell for Denver. Charlie Scott back to Boswell. Bobby Jones comes up with it.
On that last play down the floor when Mix drove across the center, he was trying to get a little help from the ball. He said, ball.
Eric Money makes it 45-32, and San Antonio and Houston in a barn burner today, 33-30. The Spurs in front. Big game. In that Central Division, Houston trailing San Antonio by 2 games. Wilkerson for Rissell. Caldwell Jones picks up the foul.
Here we have a pick and roll situation. Bobby Wilkerson taking advantage of the defensive lapse, giving it to Dan Issel, going into the hoop, being fouled by Caldwell Jones.
Hicks and Skinner come out for the Sixers. Maurice Cheeks into the ball game. Cheeks over Scott. Maurice Cheeks.
Good hustle play by Cheeks. He actually made a real tough layup. He had Caldwell Jones coming down on the left side. Could have probably made an easier play, but Caldwell has to open his mouth and let him know that he's coming too.
45-34. Boswell for Wilkerson, back to Boswell. This is Issel. Boswell underneath.
Good play by Dan Issel. He's hit a couple from outside and inside. He's been on the boards all day. That time they double teamed him. He hit the open man, Boswell. Good play by Issel.
Money and Cheeks in the backcourt for the Sixers. This is Cheeks over Scott again, and it's 47-36. Maurice Cheeks with 6 points. Wilkerson, Scott. Wilkerson in the backcourt now. McGinnis, Issel, and Boswell up front. Charlie Scott. Caldwell Jones off to Cheeks. 3-on-2. Eric Money. Yes. 47-38. 6:11 remaining second period. Nuggets in white, the Sixers in red. Timeout called by Denver. And we've got 6:06 remaining here in the second period, with the Denver Nuggets holding a 47-38 lead.
The Miller people promised me a case of light beer if I could keep this ball spinning for the length of this commercial. Now, I'm not one to show off, but I do just about anything for a few light beers. You see, light's got a third less calories than the regular beer and it's less filling, so I can stay loose. But the thing I like best is the taste. And I believe at this time that somebody here owes me a case of that taste. Thanks a lot, boys. See you around.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Hey, Charlie.
Chevrolet dedicates the new midsize Chevy Malibu wagon to all the new wagon people. People who shop in those great little stores, people who camp in the great outdoors, people with kids and people without, people who haul things inside or out, skiers and surfers and joggers and more. People who enjoy a useful rear door, people who store some nice odds and ends, people who enjoy lots of nice friends. They're coming to Chevy now. You should too. To a fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
Port of Call, Caribbean. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
What a lineup on CBS next week, with most of the country watching Denver at Los Angeles, and regional games with the 76ers at Phoenix, Houston at Seattle. 3 exciting games from the NBA here on CBS next week. 47-38, Denver leading. The Sixers here at McNichols Sports Arena. Tim Ryan and John Havlicek bringing you the action to you. Denver ball, Issel over Dawkins.
Philadelphia has those 2 small guards in there again, and Charlie Scott was able to take cheeks low. They tried to help out with Charlie, but he hit Dan Issel, the open man, and as I said, Dan can put the ball in the hole.
Bobby Jones, top of the key for Philadelphia. Trying to get it inside to Dawkins. Issel steals.
Real tough pass for a guy about 7 feet tall when you put it at his knees. They're not used to bending down there.
George McGinnis watched by Caldwell Jones, and Jones does a great job on him. Out the right side, Maurice Cheeks. Cheeks driving, he's fouled, and the basket will count.
Good individual effort by Cheeks that time. He had the ball in the middle of the floor. If he would have had someone else running with him, maybe he could have hit an open lane, but no one was coming with him. He took it to the hoop, laid it off the board. A tough shot, good play, and drew the foul.
Sixers now with a chance to narrow that margin. It's 49-40. 3-point attempt here by Maurice Cheeks. And the rookie makes it 49-41. Well, the turnovers have turned around in that first period. It was all Denver in the
good play by Caldwell Jones that time. He took away the lane of David Thompson going up the floor. He made him throw an errant pass. They caused another turnover, and he ends up at the other end of the floor with a good play out.
7 turnovers for Denver in this period.
Now we have full court pressure by the 76ers.
Make it 5 in this period and 7 overall. And that has been a factor so far, and the tide starting to turn in Philadelphia's favor. Here's McGinnis. Offensive foul on McGinnis.
Here we have Jones in isolation on the left side of the floor. Going in, if he hadn't have brought himself back into Caldwell Jones, he probably wouldn't have been called for the foul, but he brought himself back into Caldwell, causing the contact. It was a good call by the official.
4:44 remaining here in the second period. Sixers have closed now to within 6. Bobby Jones underneath for Money. Great reception of the pass out to Dawkins. Dawkins hits 49-45.
That's where Billy Cunningham would like to see Darryl Dawkins, down inside that 3-second area.
I think he likes to shoot from outside.
Well, he got 30 the other night, mostly from the outside, so he's probably going to take a few from out there.
Charlie Scott, 51-45.
So many times the 76ers are getting caught in no man's land. They're attempting to help out. They really don't get to the person with the ball, and they're in between a situation where they can't defend the man they're trying to help out or their own man.
Bobby Jones for Philadelphia, 51-47. Again, it's down the left side. starts to drive on Caldwell Jones, now whistles. McGinnis. Sixers rebound, Dawkins, and they're starting to play the boards a little more strongly here in the second period. Money underneath for Bobby Jones.
We had George McGinnis going up for the ball, and that time he did not get the ball, but he got a piece of Caldwell Jones. Okay, here we have it again. The pass inside to Bobby Jones, up for the layup, misses. We have a scramble for the ball. Now watch here, Caldwell Jones getting whacked across the arms. And a little in the face, too.
Caldwell Jones getting a little attention there from trainer Al Domenico.
George McGinnis a little upset with that foul called against him. He thought he was just battling for the ball, and now we have Tom Boswell in there now. George taking a little rest. He's a little disturbed, a little hot. Donnie Walsh doesn't want to let him get too hot. He's going to have him cool down a little bit before the first half is over.
Bobby Jones, watched by Wilkerson, inside to Caldwell Jones, hook shot, and it goes. 51-49, Philadelphia, narrowing it to 2. Charlie Scott. Nuggets in white and Sixers in red if you just joined us. Denver off to an early lead, and Wilkerson hits to make it more again.
I think they'll probably let Wilkerson take that shot all day. He hasn't been shooting well. Oh, what a fantastic play by Eric Money. A good pick and roll. Bobby Jones keeping the man on his back, going in for the layup.
Well, Money tried to draw the offensive foul, but he doesn't get any attention at all from official Dick Bavetta, who was right on the play. Let the play continue. Ruling that Wilkerson had the lane. Timeout called by the Sixers. 2:55 remaining here in the first half. The score, Denver 53, Philadelphia 51.
Every day the world awakens. People dream of what awaits them. Getting ready to go on out and find their world. Every day we fly, we're showing the experience of knowing what the world wants when they want to fly. The world can have. We fly the world the way the world wants to fly. And we fly the world the way the world wants to fly. We fly the world the way the world wants to fly. We fly the world the way the world wants to fly.
All across our land, people know our brand.
You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
Hear that, men? You can trust AC spark plugs. And remember AC filters to help protect your engine from dirt and dust. Right, Ben? Ben? Kids!
Drive through dirt and dust. Good filters are a must.
You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Filters by AC. Plugs and filters by AC.
Billy's 19, Joanna's 18, and they want to get married, but no one sees it their way. Married the first year, Wednesday at 8/7 Central and Mountain.
Thompson on the line for Denver here with a 2-point lead. The Nuggets 53-51. Caldwell Jones has been the main man bringing Philadelphia back. He is now 7 of 7 from the field, 16 points on the game, and he's got 11 rebounds. Thompson makes it 3 points, the lead.
Another factor here, we have the NBA steals leaders, and the thing that's really helped the 76ers has been the play of the guards. They've been pushing it up the floor, and they've been creating situations that allow the big men to work inside. So the guards have been doing their part in this second quarter.
Denver back to 4 points. Money and Cheeks in the backcourt for Philadelphia. Money. Wilkerson rebounds. Wilkerson for the Nuggets, and Money got a hand on the pass. It goes out of bounds. 2:33 to play first half. Coming up at halftime, we're going to see Cotton Fitzsimmons in an interesting conversation with Don Criqui. Doing a great job at Kansas City this year. Also, you golf fans waiting for the LA Open, we'll have a live report from Los Angeles. And be sure to stay tuned after NBA basketball for the Los Angeles Open. David Thompson for Denver, 57-51. Cheeks to Money. Watched by David Thompson. Boswell gets a hand on Caldwell Jones' pass. Thompson back. Thompson way up. Basket will count.
We have David Thompson getting the ball from one end of the floor to the other. He lost it momentarily. Look at the move to the basket. What a great play by David Thompson. Being fouled on the way to the play, on the way to the hoop for a potential three-point play.
Third foul on Caldwell Jones. Irving in the game. Caldwell Jones having such an outstanding day, they would not like to get him into any more foul trouble. Thompson makes the three-pointer, 60-51. Philadelphia had closed to within 2. We're back to 9. Cheeks, Bibby, Dawkins, Bobby Jones, and Julius Irving for the Sixers. 1:59 remaining here in the first half. Henry Bibby over Thompson, 60-53. Roberts, Scott, Thompson, Issel, and Boswell. The Nuggets on the floor. Charlie Scott. Dan Issel, top of the key over Dawkins, and it goes.
Well, we have another play. The 76ers continue to do it. They try and help out, and they really don't do it effectively, leaving Dan Issel open at the top of the key, and he's made about 5 of them, I think.
19 points for Issel. The basket will count for Dawkins.
It's Daryl Dawkins inside. Once he has his mitts on the ball, forget about it. He goes up. He likes that reverse dunk with the left hand. I don't know what the name is he calls that one, but he has a name for all his different dunks. One of the reasons the Nuggets have been able to get this lead up again is they put David Thompson inside against these 2 small guards. They haven't been helping effectively.
Anthony Roberts picks up the foul. Dawkins at the line for 3. Nuggets in the penalty. He'll get another shot. 62-55, 1:28 remaining in the first half. Dawkins misses again. Issel rebound. David Thompson. Bobby Jones on the rebound. Outlet to Bibby. Cheeks and Bibby. Cheeks and it's blocked. The follow is good, and it's 62-57. Anthony Roberts, near side. Charlie Scott, a minute remaining. Thompson underneath. That's tipped away. Bobby Jones has it out to Bibby. Bibby over Scott. Won't go, but here's Cheeks all alone. 62-59.
The Nuggets not getting back on defense. The 76ers breaking. They had 4 on 2. Dan Issel blocked his man out, but he wasn't able to block 4 other people out, so they have to get back if they're going to keep from giving up those easy baskets.
Anthony Roberts opens it, 64-59. Issel back on Bibby. Dawkins, watched by Issel, 20 seconds remaining, hook shot, won't go, Boswell rebounds. Loose ball foul indicated.
I think it was on Henry Bibby that time. The rebound was controlled by Boswell. Henry Bibby getting into the action, maybe picked up a piece of his arm or hand.
18 seconds on the clock. Both teams in the penalty. Boswell will go to the line. Substitutions from Denver. As we look at the free throw leaders in the NBA, Rick Barry continues to be one of the great ones, and Calvin Murphy, his teammate, right behind him. Sobers, Brown, and Hudson follow on. Much neglected area of the game by youngsters. They look at those numbers, John, they realize how important it is.
The free throw percentage is something that I think every person in the league should work on. I know as a player, that's one thing that I worked on every day. A lot of times you're tired, but it's easy to work on free throws. Shoot at least 25 a day, 50 a day if you can.
Boswell just missed one, and Dawkins rebounded. Final seconds of the first half, 65-59. Foul off the ball. Bobby Wilkerson called. We're grabbing Henry Bibby. 4 seconds remaining. First half. 65-59. The Sixers have yet to take the lead. They've gotten to within 2. Denver keeps opening it up a little bit every time they get close, but Bibby brings them to within 5 again. Remember, we'll have a live report from the LA Open and a special feature with Coach Cotton Fitzsimmons of Kansas City. 65-61. That's coming up at halftime, and steal by Irving. And it's off the glass. Bibby follows. It'll be no basket. It doesn't drop anyway. And so, at the end of the first half, Denver, which had a more comfortable lead, is now down to 4, 65-61.
Think of yourself in a special way in the new Monte Carlo from Chevrolet. Think of yourself behind the wheel, enjoying that special Monte Carlo feel, standing tall, feeling proud. Put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
When you shoot a lot of pool and bars, you want to stay fast and loose, and you don't want to get filled up. That's why I drink light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling. Plus, the taste is great. And even though a lot of people don't think pool is strenuous, let me tell you something. You can work up a real good thirst, even when you're just showing off.
Beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
If you've tried different dandruff shampoos but are still bothered by dandruff itching and flaking, don't give up. You should know, all leading dandruff shampoos are not alike. Today's Selsun Blue is different. Only Selsun Blue contains the anti-dandruff ingredient doctors prescribe most. And only Selsun Blue comes in formulas for dry, normal, and oily hair. So if you haven't tried today's Selsun Blue, you haven't done everything you can for your dandruff.
Olympic medalist Susie Korok for Color Track by RCA.
My hat's blue, my vest is yellow, and my pants are hot dog red. If these colors don't look right, see them on a 1979 Color Track. Getting the color right is what it's all about. And now, with channel lock tuning, it tracks the color more automatically than ever.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Tim Ram with John Havlicek at Denver. The Nuggets led by 15. They now lead by only 4, 65-61 at the half. Meanwhile, the Kansas City Kings are sitting square on top of the Midwest Division in the NBA. Many think the main reason is their well-traveled coach, Cotton Fitzsimmons. Here he is with Don Criqui.
There are a lot of great basketball names coaching in the NBA, people like Jerry West and Billy Cunningham and Dave Cowens, but when they inscribe the name of the 1978-79 Coach of the Year on that trophy, there's a very good chance it'll be Lowell Fitzsimmons. You know him as Cotton, and he's the coach this year of the Kansas City Kings, a club that was about the worst in the league last year and is now one of the absolute best. Cotton, what happened here?
I don't know. You know, we must have the right ingredients because it just turned around for us. We got some confidence early in the year, and the guys believe in themselves, and we're winning.
What about Coach of the Year? Are you looking forward to that?
Well, no, not really. It may sound crazy to you. Too many coaches of the year have been fired in this league, and, hey, I'm a survivor in this league. I don't want to be fired.
Cotton, the best part of your game is on the sidelines. You're always working. You're always talking. You're giving your opinions to officials, to your players. You keep that low profile, though. I guess it's harder to hit a low target with a tee, huh?
Well, it really is. You know, a few years ago when I came in the league with Phoenix, I would sit on the bench, but when something would go wrong, next thing I know, I'd be out on the floor. I'd jump out on the floor, and I got a lot of tees, and finally I decided, you know, to go down on the one knee on the sideline, and it's harder to get up off the one knee, you know, and plus the fact, you know, you're not right in their face. And you never are challenging an official right in his face. So it's helped me a great deal. It helps me relax, really, in that position.
You like to work on those officials, though. Keep that conversation with them.
Well, I think it's important to keep a dialogue going. I don't want the edge, but I don't want the other guy to have the edge. And I think it's important that you just keep a dialogue going. And I do like all the officials. There's nothing personal about it. An official has a job to do on the floor, and I also have a job to do as a coach. We want to win the ball game.
Yeah, you've been around the game a long time, and people talk about the changing attitudes of the players. What about your own approach to the game? Has it changed over the years?
Well, I think it's changed somewhat, but not a great deal. I've always felt that the game should be fun. I have fun coaching, and I'm definitely going to have fun today coaching the ball game. And it should be fun for the players, and I don't really care what level. I don't care if it's on a junior college level, the university level, or the pro level. It still should be fun, even though it is our job, and we do make a living that way. But I try to keep it fun, but there's only one way to have fun in this business. That's to win.
Cotton, if you would just reflect on some of the humorous things you remember about being a coach, some of the anecdotes, just to reel off some.
Well, you know, I think there's a lot of funny things that occur to you being a coach. You know, one of the funniest things happened to me in college. The only year I served as an assistant coach in my lifetime, I was with Tex Winter, who coached in the NBA with the Houston Rockets, and we were going up to Nebraska to play a game, and Tex had an old favorite brown suit that he just loved, you know. And I told him, I said, hey, Tex, the suit has had it. You got to give it up, you know. He said, no, it'll hold up. And so we went to Nebraska to play against Joe Cipriano's Cornhuskers up there, and they liked to press, and they were playing in that little building where they sold popcorn in your huddle and Cokes in your huddle. It was so small. And they were pressing us one time and started the game, and sure enough, Tex jumped up. And I've heard of coaches see the pants ripping out. I've never heard of them falling out. And Tex just went on like nothing happened. I said, Tex, I told you it wouldn't hold up. He says, hey, Cotton, if that's all we lose here tonight, we'll be lucky. And I thought that was one of the best. But, you know, as far as the players go, I've worked with so many different guys, you know, and to me, they're all kind of funny. You know, I try to keep it on that level. You know, I want to be business about it. I want to let them know that they have a job to do and everything. But you should have fun. You should have fun at practice and everything. I'd hate for the players to come into practice and really it'd be drudgery and for them to hate to come to practice. And we have fun in our practices here, and we got some crazy people on this team. Let me tell you, that rookie from North Carolina is crazy. Let me tell you that.
Like how?
Oh, man, he is just crazy all the time. He's always him and Birdsong are constantly picking on Lacey. Lacey is the veteran of the team, and the people. You know, one of the funniest things happened to me in college. The only year I served as an assistant coach in my lifetime, I was with Tex Winter, who coached in the NBA with the Houston Rockets, and we were going up to Nebraska to play a game, and Tex had an old favorite brown suit that he just loved, you know. And I told him, I said, hey, Tex, the suit has had it. You got to give it up, you know. He said, no, it'll hold up. And so we went to Nebraska to play against Joe Cipriano's Cornhuskers up there, and they liked to press, and they were playing in that little building where they sold popcorn in your huddle and Cokes in your huddle. It was so small. And they were pressing us one time and started the game, and sure enough, Tex jumped up. And I've heard of coaches see the pants ripping out. I've never heard of them falling out. And Tex just went on like nothing happened. I said, Tex, I told you it wouldn't hold up. He says, hey, Cotton, if that's all we lose here tonight, we'll be lucky. And I thought that was one of the best. But, you know, as far as the players go, I've worked with so many different guys, you know, and to me, they're all kind of funny. You know, I try to keep it on that level. You know, I want to be business about it. I want to let them know that they have a job to do and everything. But you should have fun. You should have fun at practice and everything. I'd hate for the players to come into practice and really it'd be drudgery and for them to hate to come to practice. And we have fun in our practices here, and we got some crazy people on this team. Let me tell you, that rookie from North Carolina is crazy. Let me tell you that.
Like how?
Oh, man, he is just crazy all the time. He's always him and Birdsong are constantly picking on Lacey. Lacey is the veteran of the team, and the people who've watched Sam Lacey for 9 years think Sam's mad at the world. because he's so intent during the course of the game. He very seldom ever smiles and everything. And I tell you, they just wear the poor guy out. They'll hide his jumping rope from him. They'll do anything and everything they can. Ford will tell him, well, Lace, let me tell you something. I sure hope in 9 years, I sure hope that I'll be as strong as you are, and be able to get in the whirlpool every day like you do. So they wear him out pretty good.
Cotton, when you think of all the great players you've had over the years, I guess you always have to hearken back to the Hawk, Connie Hawkins.
The Hawk is one of my favorites. It was a shame, that Connie didn't come into this league when he was a young man. He had to wait until he was 27 years old, but quite a talent, great player. I had him in Phoenix, and he was on top of his game then, and led our team in scoring. But then I had him in Atlanta his last year and my last year in Atlanta, and we were struggling and everything. And I'll never forget one night, the Hawk was famous for his dunk as he would fly down the middle. The Hawk would soar, and down he would go. And sure enough, one night he had a breakaway, stole the ball, and it looked like that he tripped over the free throw line. And he could just barely get the ball up, and it was not a Connie Hawkins dunk. And he just barely got it over the rim, and the ball came out. And, everybody kind of was laughing in the Omni. And the first time a foul was called and Atlanta was shooting, Hawk came over to the bench and he says, hey, Coach, let me tell you something. We've got to do one or two things. He said, we're either going to have to lower the basket or we're going to have to raise the floor, because he says the Hawk can't fly anymore. That's Connie Hawkins. He's a great guy and a great player.
It's been a lot of fun, and Cotton, continued success. It's been a great year for you.
Thank you. I hope we can just keep it up. It's a long way from home. We have to win the rest of our ball games, because I know Denver, Milwaukee, all of them are trying to make a push right now.
Well, thanks to Don Crickey and Cotton Fitzsimmons. Cotton having himself a fun year so far with Kansas City atop the Midwest. Next week, Jack Whitaker will have a most interesting conversation with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think you're going to discover a new side of Abdul-Jabbar, a gentleman who is a great performer on the court and the most interesting man off the court. That's next week on our halftime feature on the NBA. The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
Sunday, seeing who's the best sport was never more fun. Buddy Hackett and Tom Brookshire host Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes. Sunday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Tim Ryan with John Havlicek. Halftime at Denver. The Nuggets lead it by 4, 65-61 over Philadelphia. At the conclusion of today's game, in each of our NBA telecasts during the season, we will be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game. In conjunction with the award, Chevrolet will present a check for $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the player's college or university. Any student may be eligible to benefit from these scholarship funds. Today's winner will be announced at the end of the telecast. John Havlicek, you and I will be voting for the MVP, and should we disagree, our producer Bob Stenner will cast the deciding vote. So we're about ready for the start of the second half. We've had a Frisbee demonstration out here, and John Havlicek suggested that maybe if he couldn't ever learn how to spin a basketball on his finger, he thought the Frisbee might be the way to go. Hey, John?
Well, that's one thing that I've never been able to do is spin the basketball on my finger. I think my son's going to be able to do it before long, but it's something I've never done, and maybe I can try the Frisbee now that I'm out of basketball.
Well, I know something new you're taking up, too, since you finished playing basketball, just returning from Keystone area here, learning how to ski. You've already conceded that your 8-year-old son's ahead of you in that department.
Definitely so. We have been skiing about a month now, and I've been on 2 trips. My son is taking to it quite well. Dad's a little more cautious. Yesterday we went down one of the race courses going through the gates, and the first time I made it in a time of 52 seconds. My son did it in 44. I wanted to try it again. The next time I went down, I broke both gates. So skiing is something that I'm enjoying, but let's get back to basketball and hope that this game is as close at the end as it is at the finish.
Basketball is everyone's game. Short folks, tall folks, girl folks, boy folks, young folks, all folks. Basketball is everyone's game. Basketball, it's your game.
You asked them just to cover the butt that I said we would have something. Maybe you can get some scores or something.
The Nuggets official hot dog. We'll have that ticket over here in just a moment. David is in the process of drawing out a lucky winning ticket for some lucky fan.
Avis Super Saver rates. Special rates that save you money. Like our 7-day See America rate.
Look out, L.A. Bye.
Or our special holiday rates.
We get to go to the grandmother's house.
And on weekends, Avis Super Saver rates can save you up to 50% off our weekday rates.
50% off?
Up to 50%.
See you Monday.
Call our toll-free number or your travel consultant. Some restrictions do apply.
You don't need a haircut, Mr. Reed. You need Brill Cream.
Brill Cream?
Sure. Your hair is short enough, but it's a mess.
It sure is.
Brill Cream's so concentrated, just a little dab keeps my hair healthy looking and in control all day. Watch. Without Brill Cream, hair's out of control. With Brill Cream, hair stays in control. Try a little dab. See? Terrific, huh?
You're right. With Brill Cream, a little dab will do you.
A family is about to lose its home forever. Not the home on the left. Allstate Homeowners Insurance can pay to rebuild that house. The real disaster is on the right. The owner died before the mortgage was paid. Allstate Life has mortgage protection insurance to help give your family a debt-free home if you die. You need mortgage protection insurance, too. So your family won't lose its home, see your Allstate agent for both kinds of insurance. Make sure your home lives on. You're in good hands with Allstate.
My son Charlie had measles when he was a baby. He was unlucky. He's going to be deaf for life. Your child doesn't have to have measles or any of the childhood diseases you can protect against. Charlie missed some of his shots. If you don't have your child fully immunized and he gets sick, how will you say you're sorry? Call your doctor or local health department. Immunize your child, please.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS. Today's show is sponsored by Lowenbrau, Light Special and Dark Special, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer. Suzuki Motorcycles, Suzuki the Performer. And by Sylvania, makers of Super Set Color TV and a complete line of home entertainment products.
Tim Ryan and John Havlicek back here at Denver. We have a 4-point margin for the Denver Nuggets, 65-61. Well, this week in the NBA, a lot of roster changes, mainly due to injuries. And as you can see, the Portland Trail Blazers continue to have problems. Dave Twardzik, a partially torn calf muscle, and he's just been removed from Portland's injured list after missing 6 games. And also Portland waiving veteran forward Jim McMillan, who didn't get started with the Knicks this season and couldn't stick with Portland. And Phil Smith of Golden State tore his right Achilles tendon, and he will be gone probably for the rest of the season. That's always a very difficult injury to deal with. Lloyd Neal, probably one of the most disappointed players, trying to come back from the problems with his left knee, but he's had finally to give it up and retired from pro ball this season with Portland. The New York Knicks having to play center Marvin Webster on the injured list. They signed Ron Behagen, a 6'9" forward, to a 10-day contract. In the meantime, Walter Davis of Phoenix dislocated a small finger of his left hand, and he will be out of action for a bit, but they hope that he'll be back within a couple of weeks. Chicago Bulls placed guard Charles Dudley on the injured list because of an injured right ankle. They activated guard Tate Armstrong. New Orleans announcing Pete Maravich not expected to return for the team's remaining 20 games. His continuing knee problems the cause. He'll stay on the roster, however. Wally Walker of Seattle, a broken middle finger on his right hand, diving for a loose ball on Wednesday's game in New Orleans. He will not be placed on the injured list, but he could be out for 2 or 3 weeks. And Washington's Kevin Greavy re-injuring a pulled hamstring in Thursday's game against Houston. Missed Friday night's game, and he's doubtful for today's game with Golden State. So a lot of injuries, John, and I guess maybe it's that time of year.
Well, it is that time of year, Tim. The players are playing almost every night or every other night. They're giving a lot of what they have. The bodies are tired, and you have a tendency to come up with an injury every now and then. I think that Phoenix probably has the most serious injury, because when you take a Walter Davis out of the lineup, that means you're going to have to make up 20 to 25 points somewhere, which is very difficult to do, and I'm sure he'll be back. The injury isn't that serious, I don't think.
Denver to our right in white. Philadelphia to our left in red. They made quite a comeback. They were down by 15. They now trail by only 4. Thompson for the Nuggets against his old teammate Bobby Jones off the front rim. McGinnis going for the rebound control to Thompson. Thompson off the glass is short, and it will be Denver ball off Daryl Dawkins. McGinnis had 7 rebounds and 10 points, starting strongly in the first period for Denver. Issel led Denver scorers with 19. David Thompson with 15, and here's Wilkerson.
Real good pass by Dan Issel, down in low that time. Bobby Wilkerson not only made the pass, but then he did something after he made it. A lot of people have a tendency to just stand there, but he made a good cut to the hoop. Dan was able to pick him up for an easy layup. Caldwell Jones. That makes him 8 for 8 today, and he's perfect at the line. An excellent game for Caldwell Jones.
18 points for Jones. He had 16 in the first half with 11 rebounds, having an outstanding game. The main reason the Sixers got back into this. Issel, and it's blocked off the glass. The crowd wants goaltending called, but none forthcoming from our officials. John, what'd you think?
Well, I think that he possibly got the ball before it reached the top of its peak, and if you do that, you're going to be all right. They won't call it.
Back the other way, the Nuggets, and almost given up by Thompson, but Scott alertly recovered. Wilkerson, watched by Bibby, turnaround, won't go. Caldwell Jones rebounding. Maurice Cheeks. Bibby. In and out. Dawkins rebounds. Fouled underneath. Yeah, Dawkins, you can hear him talking to Charlie Scott. I don't think Charlie would argue with him.
Here we have the shot taken by Henry Bibby, and you know that Dawkins is going to go up for the dunk. It's an easy 2 points. He's missed his last 2 free throws, so Charlie decided to take a chance, foul him. Hope that he misses a couple here. Pretty good play by Charlie Scott. Daryl didn't like it, though. He wanted one of his spine chillers, I think.
Yeah, and he missed the free throw, so it may turn out to be a good play by Scott.
The 76ers at this point seem to be moving the ball up the floor quickly, and this has helped their game. Denver started off strong, but since they played last night, they may tire a little toward the end of the game. Maybe Philly's thinking about that, hoping to take advantage.
Scott has only 2 fouls. Dawkins made only 1 free throw. 67-64. Scott, McGinnis, Issel. Caldwell Jones. Finally, now he steps out, and it's Denver ball.
We have a little situation here where they change the defensive assignments. Bobby Jones is now taking David Thompson. David was burning the guards low. Now they're going to send Bobby Wilkerson down low, and they figure that he's not as good a shooter, so they're going to take that gamble, putting Jones on Thompson, letting Bobby Wilkerson take the shot from down low.
Guinness missing. Bibby for the Sixers with the ball. Bibby, Cheeks in the backcourt. Caldwell Jones, Dawkins, Bobby Jones up front. Bobby Jones, number 24 with the ball. Cheeks. Scott, Maurice Cheeks. He's got 15 points. The rookie from West Texas State. Scott's pass is tipped by Cheeks, and it goes to Bobby Jones. Denver turnover.
We have a 1-point game here, and Denver has been involved in 25 games where there's been a 4-point differential, winning 14, losing 11, more than any other team in the NBA.
Philadelphia has taken the lead for the first time in the game. 68-67. David Thompson. Jones rebounding. Caldwell Jones.
Here again, you see the 76ers pushing the ball up the floor. Maybe the Nuggets are getting a little tired.
Nuggets played at home last night, an impressive win over Milwaukee. Philadelphia had the night off. They were waiting here in Denver for today's game. Bobby Jones hits. 70-67, a 3-point margin. Philadelphia trailed by 15 back in the first half, and they have rallied back to take the lead with 9:01 remaining, third period.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Hey, where's Bob? I thought he was with you.
No,
you're kidding.
He's not down yet.
Hey, don't you think something happened?
Let's start looking.
Hey! How about a Lowenbrow? Bob!
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Hey, you know, for a minute there, you really had us worried.
I know. Thanks.
Have a nice day at work, Terry.
Terry Vance rides this Suzuki GS 1000 to work because it's quick, nimble, and just plain fun. At work, he rides this GS 1000, world's fastest pro stock bike. And that's why Terry Vance is the world's fastest pro stock rider.
Suzuki, the pump on the right.
3 unidentified 19-inch color TV pictures, each the best of its brand. Over 1,000 people saw them and picked the one with the best overall picture. They didn't pick America's biggest seller, Zenith, or the second biggest, RCA. Over 60% picked the 19-inch Sylvania Superset. Over 60%. We're not the biggest, but a lot of people think we've got the best picture. The Sylvania Superset.
Coming next, except on the West Coast, see the top touring pros in action. The Glenn Campbell Los Angeles Open. From tee to green, you'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Tim Ram with John Havlicek here at Denver, 9 minutes remaining. Third period, the Sixers have gone in front 70-67. Denver with the ball, David Thompson. Watched by Bobby Jones. And it'll be Jones on the foul as Thompson tried to drive, beating it off to George McGinnis. Thompson, Scott, Issel, McGinnis, and Wilkerson, the original game starters in there for Denver. Cheeks, Dawkins, Bobby Jones, Bibby, and Caldwell Jones for Philadelphia. Thompson driving again, and again Bobby Jones picks up the foul. Billy Cunningham thinks offense.
Here we have David Thompson. They're into their 1-4 offense. They just open up the middle of the lane and let David go one-on-one. That time I thought Bobby Jones played pretty good defense, but he's picked up 2 quick fouls against Bobby.
Those are his first 2 of the game. He got them back-to-back. David Thompson makes one and another. 70-69, a 1-point game. Cheeks up court for Philadelphia. Henry Bibby underneath for Bobby Jones, batted away by Wilkerson.
Good play by Wilkerson that time. He sort of lofted the ball in. Bobby was able to fight in from the behind Bobby Jones and come in and deflect the ball away.
Bobby Jones will inbound it for the Sixers. Bibby to Cheeks. Dawkins, watched by Issel. Dawkins. Glass over the rim, McGinnis rebound. Thompson up court. 1-point Sixers lead. Thompson steps it. 71-70. Another foul call, I believe, again on, yes it is, on Bobby Jones, and Cunningham on his feet again.
Here we have Bobby Jones stepping in the way of David Thompson. Look how high he is. His hand is up into the rim. His head's almost touching the net. What a great play by David Thompson.
Sure looks like Jones might have had position here, though. What do you think?
Let's take another look at that. Bobby has position, but the official saw it the other way. It could have been called as an offensive foul.
And
but
a
what a
three-point
tremendous
play.
leap.
Fantastic. David Thompson, 72-70. Denver in front. Caldwell Jones. Bobby Jones rebounds. Henry Bibby using Caldwell Jones off the front iron. It'll be Denver ball. Caldwell Jones on the loose ball foul. He's got 4 now. They sat him down when he got 3 back in the first half, and he has been their main man here today.
If they lose Caldwell Jones, they're going to be in trouble because he's not only doing the job offensively, but he's been playing good defense, getting a lot of rebounds also. Here we have, they isolate George McGinnis on Caldwell Jones, hoping to draw another one.
Denver ball off Darryl Dawkins. Julius Erving up ready to come in for Philadelphia. He did not start. If you joined us along the way, you'll know that he's been bothered by a sore ankle. And as we commented, he's taped from toes to hip on one leg. Got the bad knees and hasn't been able to play full time today for Philadelphia. Denver brings it in.
Here we had Henry Bibby guarding David Thompson now because of the lineup change. They moved Julius Erving in, took Caldwell Jones out, so they had to make some adjustments. That time he was able to play David very well, and David got called for the offensive foul. Again, trying to take him and post him low.
Denver by 2, 7:33 remaining third period. Bobby Jones underneath, intended for Erving, broken up and a foul. The foul was off the ball. Looks like
it was on Bobby Wilkerson that time, trying to guard Julius Erving. You'll see Julius, he'll try and get down low also and work against him. There he makes a good cut to the basket.
Thompson picks up another foul. He just picked up a couple in a hurry to go to 3. Third team foul for Denver. Debbie to Erving. Erving turning, spinning, and hitting off the glass at 72-72.
I think that's Julius' first basket of the day. Earlier I was talking to Matty Gukas, who used to play for Philadelphia. He said Julius sometimes comes off an injury a little slow.
Jones steals the pass from McGinnis. Bibby back to the Sixers. Jeets underneath Erving. For Dawkins, Issel and Wilkerson were both there. And it is Issel picking up the foul. Timeout is called. We have 6:59 remaining third quarter. We're tied at 72.
Got a big load to haul? Get a tough Chevy van. The 125-inch wheelbase model handles plenty of cargo. It's also got a wider sliding side door opening and wider and higher rear doors than its 2 closest sales competitors. Now, check these dimensions. Rear doors to engine, rear doors to seat, floor to roof. And look at that turning circle. Got a tough job? Get a tough Chevy van.
Chevy trucks, built to stay tough.
Every day you lose a little piece of yourself. More hair on the brush and less on you. These are Protein 29 conditioning hair grooms and sprays. They can't do anything about the hair you're losing, but Protein 29 can do something about the hair you still have. Protein 29 actually adds protein to individual hair shafts, helps make your hair look thicker, fuller, healthier, more like it used to look. The more hair you're losing, the more you need Protein 29. It takes care of the hair that's still there.
In business, the more efficiently you use your time, the more money you make.
Time is money.
So if you're spending hours dictating letters to far-off places, and hours are spent typing them,
I've got other work to do.
Kick the letter habit. Pick up your phone and give them a ring. The phone turns your time into money.
Tuesday, basic training takes on a whole new look when the U.S. Military Academy is invaded by Women at West Point. The CBS Tuesday night movie at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
It was a 3-second violation call, not a foul, before we went to the timeout. So Denver ball, 6:57 to go, third period. We're tied at 72. The Sixers coming from 15 back. McGinnis to Scott. Denver in white to our right. Philadelphia in red to our left. Bobby Jones tips it away, keeps it alive. The Bibby made a good catch with Thompson and McGinnis on it.
Super play by Bobby Jones. So many times those plays go unnoticed, but you got to really give a guy credit like that because he's made a play and he may end up with a decent shot or a decent layup. Unfortunately, it didn't work. But George McGinnis comes down with it again.
Another rebound for McGinnis. Scott. He hits. 74-72. Bibby down quickly for the Sixers. Bobby Jones, baseline, won't go. Scott. Diving, 3 men on him. Foul call. Bobby Jones, another foul. And for Bobby Jones, that's number 4.
Good play by Charlie Scott. He held the defense motionless for a second, which allowed him to get that extra step to the hoop. Bobby Jones has 4 fouls now. He's been guarding George McGinnis. George goes out for a rest, and Boswell comes in.
5 team fouls for Philadelphia. 75-72, Charlie Scott at the line. Steve Mix into the game for the Sixers. It'll be Mix, Irving, Dawkins up front. Cheeks and Bibby. Caldwell Jones in some foul trouble with 4. Scott hits again, 76-72. Denver leading. Bibby watched by Thompson. The Doctor. Watched by Anthony Roberts. For Irving, can't get it up. Off the bottom of the board. Got quickly to Boswell. Boswell, Issel. Roberts up front. Thompson can't make it. Mix rebound. Bibby down court. The Doctor over Scott.
We have Julius Irving on the break. Looks like there was pretty good defensive position. He kicked it off, but the foul went the other way.
Charlie Scott got the foul. What's this one?
We have Charlie Scott called for a blocking foul. Maurice Cheeks going to the line.
Scott quick with fouls now. 15th foul for Denver this period. Cheeks on the line. And we've had several players pick up 2 quick ones in a row within seconds of each other. It happened to Bobby Jones. It happened to David Thompson.
Both teams are in the penalty situation now also.
Maurice Cheeks makes it 76-74. Robert Smith in the game, replacing Scott at guard for Denver. Thompson works the backcourt with Robert Smith. Boswell underneath to Roberts. Roberts in traffic, blocked by Dawkins. Here comes Cheeks. And Robert Smith fouls him en route to the basket.
Maurice Cheeks taking the ball up the floor. If he just looked to his right side, Steve Mix would have had an easy layup. If he makes these free throws, then it's okay. But good team basketball. He probably should have hit Mix because Mix really made the play go. Try and reward those people who are coming up from behind and getting into the flow of the game.
Maurice Cheeks has now got 18 points and now 19. 76.
Here we have a foul against Bobby Wilkerson. Henry Bibby trying to get ahead of him. Wilkerson catches him with the shoulder. Gets called for the offensive foul. I don't know about that one.
That was questionable. We've had 2 or 3 here today. Maurice Cheeks. Philadelphia setting up. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Money driving baseline as pass is off Issel's foot. It'll be Sixers ball. We're tied at 76. And coming up after this NBA telecast, the Los Angeles Open.
Charlie Scott's back in the game now. He has 4 personal fouls.
Dr. J. Irving second from the field. Remember, he did not start, has not played a whole lot. He's bothered by a sore ankle. Scott with Robert Smith in the backcourt for Denver. Thompson gets a rest. Robert, Issel, Boswell up front. Here's Dan Issel. Beautiful drive. Layup by Issel.
What a play by Issel that time. He looked like he was going to take it up, and he brought it back underneath. Great play.
Eric Money Irving rebound. Misses. Boswell has it for Denver. Scott to Robert Smith. Intercepted by Irving. The pass short intended for Roberts. Irving cut off at the baseline by Robert Smith. And he'll get the foul.
Here we have Julius Irving on the drive toward the hoop. I think his ankle gave way a little bit there. tried to kick it off, was fouled on the play. Now he goes to the line.
4:08 remaining. Third period, we're tied at 78. And you've got some key players with 4 fouls each. McGinnis back in for Denver. Irving makes 1. From the line, he's 76% this season, and he misses the second. Issel rebounds. 79-78, Philadelphia by 1. Robert Smith. McGinnis underneath for Issel. Fine play. 80-79, Denver back in front. The seesaw begins. Philadelphia was down by 15 back in the first half. Dawkins, watched by Issel. Boswell goes down. Ball short. Boswell knocks it out of bounds. And it'll be Philadelphia ball.
Bill Dawkins that time down the floor. He had been burned by Issel, so he decided, I'm going to go back at you and get it the other way, but it didn't happen.
Coming in to Chuck Daly talking strategy. There's Donnie Walsh, his assistant George Irvine.
We have Tom Boswell trying to guard Julius Irving coming across the middle, and Tom doesn't move his feet real well. Julius being able to do so many things down low is fouled by Boswell. One of the things you have to do is move your feet, not your hands.
80-79, Denver by 1, Irving on the line. Kim Hughes comes in for Dan Issel for Denver. Hughes picked up as a free agent from the New Jersey Nets. And the Nuggets people happy to have him. Fourth man from Wisconsin, backing up Dan Issel at center. Irving. The doctor misses from the foul line. Sellout crowd here from Paterna. Bobby Jones for the first time for Denver. This is trade to Philadelphia. The doctor makes the second. We're tied again at 80. Robert Smith for McGinnis. Watched by Mix off to Smith. Charlie Scott watched by Money. McGinnis. Too far. Irving got the air ball. Cheeks. Money. Maurice Cheeks over Robert Smith. Won't go. Rebound. Boswell. Charlie Scott. All the way. Charlie Scott.
Here's a situation where the defense has to help out. They cleared the side of the floor. Charlie Scott came down the left side. He should have got some help from the weak side. A lot of people standing over there not knowing the relationship of where the ball was and where their man was. They could have helped out, clogged that up, taken away that easy layup.
Steve Mix misses. Rebound Boswell. Smith. 3-on-3. Back for Scott. Underneath intended for McGinnis. Knocked away and Philadelphia recovers. Here comes Cheeks. His pass for Mix off the mark. 3-on-1. And they came up empty.
Here we have a quick release up court. Maurice Cheeks going to the hoop. He sees Steve Mix coming to the hoop. Does not make a good pass and blows an opportunity for a good layup. You don't want to do that type of thing in a ball game like this because time's running out. 2:27 left in this quarter, and it's going to be over before long. And you like to take advantage of those.
Outward bound, Rota, Spain. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
You're feeling good about yourself. The way you should about yourself.
You're feeling good about yourself, and it shows. You're drinking 1-calorie Diet Pepsi-Cola, the taste that's changing the taste of America.
And you're drinking Diet Pepsi. Yeah, you're drinking Diet Pepsi. And it shows. We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
You sure are getting behind Chevy's new midsize Malibu, America. And why not? It's got the right mileage estimates, the right size, the right feel, the right look, and the right room. And for a lot of folks, it's got the right name, too. Chevy Malibu. The 79 Chevy Malibu could be just right for you.
A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
Hi, I'm Vic Tayback. I play Mel on The Alice Show. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, we got a show for you.
See gymnastics in Baton Rouge, Grand Prix racing in South Africa, the fight of the week, and more.
You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
'82-80, Denver leads, 2:27 remaining in the third period, and Robert Smith brings it up court.
Joe Bryant in the ball game for the first time. He's played every position for the 76ers. He's played guard, he's played forward, now he's playing against Kim Hughes in the pivot position.
Thompson foul before the shot. Eric Money, the guilty party. Some other scores around the NBA. San Antonio at halftime leading Houston 65-44, a big lead at the half. Houston 2 games behind San Antonio in the Central Division. Golden State leading Washington 52-49 at halftime. The Knicks and the Nets were tied 59-59 at Piscataway at halftime. And Cleveland way out in front of Chicago 61-49 at the half. After one, Golden State leading, oh, that's an earlier score, we gave you that. So we're caught up to date at halftime around the NBA. 84-80. Cheeks for the Sixers. Joe Bryant. Bryant travels. 84-80, 4-point Denver lead. It was 15 back early in the first half. Thompson, Robert Smith, McGinnis, Kim Hughes, Tom Boswell for the Nuggets. Smith is open, can't do it. Rebounded away by Bryant to Cheeks. Eric Money from the foul line, can't hit. McGinnis rebounded. Right side feed to Robert Smith. His jumper no good. Boswell follows, 86-80. Denver by 6. Money and Cheeks in the backcourt for the Sixers. Bryant, Nix, and Dr. J up front. Eric Money inside Bryant, and a big collision there. Traveling call again against Joe Bryant.
Joe just coming into the game, having a little problem with rhythm. He walked the first time he got it, and here he travels with it again.
1:06 remaining third period. 6-point Denver margin. Boswell off to Hughes. McGinnis, guarded by Mick. Lost the ball, Irving has it. Irving, 3-on-2 to Cheeks, beautiful pass. Blocked from behind by David Thompson, what's the call? Loose ball foul against Kim Hughes.
Here we have a great pass by Julius Irving. He threaded the needle, he's going up to lay it in, and David Thompson comes from behind and knocks it away and gets the foul also.
Now the foul went to Hughes. They didn't call it on Thompson there. Money at the line. After the ball came down, I guess, John. They
must have been then. I missed it.
Call against Hughes after the ball came down. Thompson appeared to get a piece of that shot from Cheeks. It is 86-82. Thompson down court from the foul line. Won't go. Boswell rebound. He's fouled.
Second time in a row, Tom Boswell has gotten the inside position. He made a layup 2 times down the floor. Here we have the shot by one of the Denver guards, Tom Boswell, inside against Julius Irving for that easy potential 3-point play. Not 3-point play, he missed the layup, he gets the first one.
Irving's second foul. Boswell has 6 points. Trying for 7.
You look back on a game, you think of all the easy baskets that could have been eliminated, and that's the type of play where you think and say, hey, if I would have blocked him out, they wouldn't have got those 2 points.
Boswell takes advantage of the penalty. It is 88-82. Both teams are in the penalty situation now.
3 right here.
28 seconds remaining, third period. Maurice Cheeks. Bryant, watched by Hughes. Foul called on his move to the basket. And it is Hughes again. 22 seconds remaining. 6-point Denver margin. Kim Ryan with John Havlicek here from the McNichols Sports Arena. Sellout crowd at Denver. Bryant closes the gap to 5. Long way to go in this one. Full quarter to play. Anthony Roberts back in. And Boswell moves up front.
Basically playing a 3-forward offense now. They really don't have a center in the game.
Bryant hits again. 88-84.
Have some full court pressure by the 76ers, and they almost got away with it. They're looking for a steal of some kind. But here we have a great play by Tony Roberts, giving the pass to Boswell for a great dunk.
Steal by Robert Smith. Followed by Boswell. 92-84, 3 seconds on the clock this period.
We had Joe Bryant a little anxious to get the ball in. Robert Smith taking it away, going to the hoop, missing the layup, but here comes Tom Boswell following again. That's his third layup on a situation like that where a shot has been missed.
2 fine plays by Boswell, and McGinnis started that first one, dribbling up court. And 2 quick baskets by Denver. Opens it to 90-84. And Donnie Walsh on his feet down there with George Irvine. McGinnis complaining rather vociferously, and Robert Smith couldn't get him away in time. He's going to get a technical.
The Nuggets are arguing that the ball should be taken out underneath the basket rather than on the sideline, I believe.
Well, they're coming off that Denver basket. Nix will shoot the technical meanwhile. Wow, a little upset this turn of events. Nix makes it. The technical foul against George McGinnis. 5-point margin.
I don't understand why they're giving them the ball anywhere but the baseline.
Bryant to Mix, and Mix did not keep it in. He was out of bounds. It is Denver ball. Boswell will inbounds it. Boswell for Roberts. As the buzzer sounds, Roberts misses, and it stays at 5. And so at the end of 3 quarters of play, the Denver Nuggets 90, the 76ers 85.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
Mr. Carlin, your briefcase.
Meet our people-pleasing faces.
Holiday Inn hotels are #1 in the world with the best standards.
Everything all right, sir?
Everything's just fine.
People-pleasing standards to help make your trip successful.
Wherever you go in this whole big traveling world,
We want to make you comfortable.
Holiday Inn is #1 in people-pleasing.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. Join us tomorrow for the hilarious series premiere of Billy. He's a young man with the most incredible fantasy life ever. See Billy tomorrow at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on CBS.
Well, John, we got an explanation on that play at the end of the period. The reason they brought it in from the side is here's Smith stealing, and apparently this basket was not counted. There's the missed layup, and let's get your version of our version from the officials.
Well, it looks like a clean play from this standpoint. I talked to the official. They said George McGinnis interfered. The basket did not count, and they gave Philadelphia possession of the ball at the sideline.
Well, a rather strange call, and we've had a few in this game today, but here's Scott underneath. And the basket will count. It is 92-85. We are just underway in the fourth period. Tim Ryan with John Havlicek.
Here we have the inside feed to Charlie Scott, and Denver continues to go low with their big guards against the small Philadelphia guards. Charlie Scott at the line for a potential three-point play.
7-point margin, Denver. And the Nuggets, big argument. That's good from Boswell. 94-85. Boswell tips in the missed free throw.
Tom Boswell also hurt his arm on that play. You can see him holding it. He's trying to fight through a pick, but he's not going to do too much. He looked over for the bench for a timeout.
Dawkins. Way out. Rebound, McGinnis. He's been a terror on the boards. Scott brings it up. Boswell in some pain. Scott for McGinnis. Boswell just now coming over the timeline. Not even in the play. Bibby intercepts McGinnis's pass. Henry Bibby. Knicks at the top of the line to Money. Bobby Jones off the rim. Rebound, David Thompson. Now the timeout call, the injury timeout for Boswell with that sore arm. Well, let's go back a little bit here. Denver complained bitterly about that final basket of the third period. They thought it was a good basket and the ball should have been inbounded from the end line as it normally would be. That basket was not counted. And John, how do you interpret what we were told? It's a strange circumstance.
The explanation was that George McGinnis interfered with the basket. On the replay, I didn't even see George McGinnis around, so it was obviously a blown call by the official. In my opinion, the basket should have counted. They should have taken the ball out underneath the basket, but for some unknown reason, it didn't count. Philadelphia was given possession on the sideline.
Okay, next week here on CBS, our NBA doubleheader will feature these Denver Nuggets at Los Angeles against the Lakers. Most of the country will see that. And our regional games will have the 76ers against Phoenix and Houston at Seattle. Three outstanding games with a lot of exciting players in the NBA next week here on CBS. It is 94-85 as Scott brings it up court, and he is fouled by Eric Money. Money.
What a very good play by Eric Money here. You see Charlie Scott coming up the sideline. There he goes. He reaches in, and the foul's called in the backcourt. He's going to give him a chance for a two-point conversion here.
Scott makes one. Money and Bibby in the backcourt for Philadelphia. Caldwell Jones back in with Dawkins and Bobby Jones. Two more points for Denver, 96-85. Bibby down to the corner for Money. Money watched by Scott. Pass tipped away by Thompson. Race for it. Thompson. David Thompson, the crowd on its feet. A foot race with Henry Bibby.
David Thompson here, not only one of the best jumpers in the league, but did you see him just fly by Bibby? Look at him going up here. His head is touching the net. Down he goes through the basket. David Thompson, one of the most electrifying plays in basketball. No one does it better.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer will
Oh, Brown. What's all this? Compliments of the gentleman at the bar, sir.
That is no gentleman. That's Tom Grant. Tom, I don't believe it.
What's it been, 5 years?
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
Somebody's got to say it, you two. Here's to good friends.
All right.
Chevrolet invites you to think of yourself in a new Monte Carlo. Think of yourself surrounded by crisp, sculptured lines. Think of yourself enjoying the very real pleasures of owning a Monte Carlo. Think of yourself surrounded with personal luxury, quiet comfort, and a surprising amount of room. And when you've thought about it, come drive one and put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
If I were shopping around for life insurance myself, and if I knew what I know as a life insurance agent for State Farm, I'd buy it from State Farm. And I really mean that, because I know what we as agents feel our job is toward our clients, and I know how our company feels about it.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
David Thompson now with 24 points, including 10 for 10 from the line. And the Nuggets have jumped back into a larger margin, 98-85. Caldwell Jones, watched by McGinnis, pass tipped away. Thompson loses it to Bibby. Bibby trying to keep it, can't control. Thompson gets it back. Anthony Roberts, and that goes. 185, a 15-point margin again for the second time in the game. Money driving the lane off to Bobby Jones. He's fouled. The basket will count.
Here's the situation. You have Eric Money going to the hoop. Defense picking up. He's able to draw the defense. Steve Mix getting the ball, putting it up. We have a foul on the play. Here's the situation where, no, it's Bobby Jones putting it up. I'm sorry. We have a situation now where the 76ers, being down by 13, they can't really rush anything. They have to play this game and get back into it. They don't want to try and catch up all at once, or they'll just bury themselves.
Anthony Roberts, the man who committed the foul. David Thompson around Money, driving the lane, and it won't go, but there's a foul in there. Bobby Jones, and for Jones, that's number 5. Denver has hit 24 of 29 from the line. It's the kind of free throw shooting your coach likes to see. And there's another 11 for 11 for Thompson, and 25 points on the game. He lays everybody in that department. Last night he had 29 against Milwaukee along with George McGinnis, a game John and I watched here at Denver. And he hits again to make it 102-87. Money, Bibby, Dawkins, Caldwell Jones, Julius Erving now for Philadelphia. Wilkerson, Thompson, Issel, McGinnis, and Anthony Roberts for Denver. This is Money, and he's short. Denver rebound, David Thompson. He's double teamed, and the foul will be against Julius Erving.
There's David Thompson coming up with the loose ball, being blocked by Eric Money there. Julius Erving reaching in, hacking him across the arm. Very disappointed with the call going that way. He thought he hit the ball and not his arm. It's going to be a two-shot foul because it was in the backcourt.
Irving's third personal foul. Thompson again at the line. He's getting a lot of work there, and he finally misses one. 12 out of 13 now. From the line for David Thompson, and misses the second. Philadelphia, Dr. J. 102-89. 9:18 to play in regulation time. Wilkerson up for the Nuggets. Wilkerson in the backcourt with Thompson now. Seeing some more of that Denver versatility. Covered there by Cheeks, and the ball off Cheeks, Denver ball. McGinnis. Roberts. 3 seconds, go that way. 3-second violation. 102-89. The score remains Denver leading, 9:03 to play, regulation time. Tim Ryan and John Havlicek here at Denver. The Doctor and David both in the game. Irving out to Dawkins. Oh yeah, Gerald Dawkins.
Julius Erving calling for the Doc to set a pick for him, and that's one of the things I like to see a big man do, because when they get a mismatch down low, they're generally going to score or get a good attempt.
Wilkerson driving, an offensive foul. 102-91.
Here we have Henry Bibby with real good position, moving his feet. He gets hurt on this play, and he's just asked for a 20-second timeout.
Be sure and stay tuned for the MVP award at the conclusion of the game. Henry Bibby getting some attention out there.
Al Domenico seeing if he's all right. Al's been in the game just probably as long as anyone.
.8:39 to play. Bibby's all right. He has the ball from Cheeks. 102-91. Irving, watched by Boswell. Caldwell Jones trying to keep control. And it will be a Denver ball.
Here we have an unusual play. Caldwell Jones trying to bounce it off the foot of a Nugget defender, and the Nugget knocks it back into Caldwell, who's out of bounds. Good play by, I believe, George McGinnis that time.
Issel's pass poked away by Bibby, taken by Irving. Irving driving. The pass for Dawkins. Just about brought down the backboard with that one.
Yeah, Julius Irving, he looked like that Frisbee thrower at halftime. He was able to just loft it over, and the Doc did one of his things.
Daryl Dawkins, 102-93. This one's a long way from being over. Philadelphia has rallied from 15 down before in this game. Scott in traffic. Issel for Denver. Outside Robert Smith. That won't go. Caldwell Jones on the rebound. What a day he's having. Cheeks for Irving. Irving off the glass. It's no good. McGinnis away with it. Things getting a little rough out here. Cunningham on his feet. That won't go. Rebound by Dawkins. Daryl Dawkins watched by Boswell. Slows it up to Irving. Maurice Cheeks. Down the lane. Nobody out of it's good. 102-95.
You can see how much Julius Irving means to this ball club. Since he's come into the game, they've come back from 15. They got it down to 7. So it shows you the versatility and the confidence that they have in this player. They play better when he's in the lineup.
Guilty.
Not guilty. 6 votes guilty, 6 votes not guilty.
Not again.
This could go on all day. Bailiff! Pass out the Right Guard deodorant.
Good.
We got stick or spray.
With Right Guard, stick or spray protects all day. They don't just cover up odor, they help stop odor before it starts. All day.
6 took stick, 6 took spray. It's unanimous.
Right Guard deodorant. Don't get dressed without it.
You're out!
Sorry, kid. Gotta take you out of cleanup.
Over 6 million shavers have said goodbye to their old razors and said hello to Atra, Gillette's best shave. Micro Smooth twin blades and Atra face-hugging action combine to outshave every razor we've ever made.
Close. Very close.
Atra, Gillette's best shave.
Atra, you're in a league by yourself.
By noon, you bring down enough timber to put up a small town. You got one tool, a chainsaw, and it's your bread and butter. On the bar, it says Homelight, but out here, it's the Chainsaw King. And right now, you can buy the King, the Homelight XL, at a king-size savings. Or pick one of 5 other Homelights and get this $15.99 woodcutters kit free from Homelight, the Chainsaw King. Check the yellow pages under saws for your Homelight dealer.
An exciting game here at Denver. A 7-point margin now as the Sixers have again battled back from 15 down. They've done it twice. The margin only 7 now as Robert Smith brings it up for Denver. Charlie Scott, Smith, Issel, McGinnis, and Boswell, the Denver lineup. This is McGinnis with the ball. Bibby, Cheeks, Caldwell Jones, Dawkins, and Irving for Philadelphia, and Boswell lost it to Cheeks. Cheeks for the Sixers, back the other way. Henry Bibby, and that's good. 102-97.
As I said, they had to be patient. They did not lose their poise. They're coming back one step at a time. Now they're within 5 again.
McGinnis using Issel, won't go. Dawkins on the rebound. Out the left side, Bibby.
Here's where they want to end up with a good shot on this particular play because they can bring it down to within 3, and then one 3-point play, you're back in the ball game, tied up again.
Julius Irving, watched by Boswell, turnaround. Foul call against Boswell. 5 minutes remaining in this game. San Antonio leading Houston 112-90 and leading them by 2 games in the standings. We've got 6:09 to play here with Denver 102, Philadelphia 97, Irving at the line. The doctor hits.
Going down the stretch, I think you'll see them going to the doctor more and low, preferably low, where he can get that potential three-point play and draw the foul and get Nuggets into foul trouble.
Irving with 10 points now. Remember, he did not start. He played more in the second half than he did in the first, favoring that sore ankle. 6 minutes to play, regulation time. Charlie Scott inside Issel. Issel misses. Rebounded by Caldwell Jones. He knocked it over to Thompson, but a foul call off the ball. Loose ball foul. Third team foul. Charge against McGinnis. Third team foul. McGinnis has 4 personals. Bibby to Caldwell Jones. Darryl Dawkins. Bibby from way out, and he hits. 102-101 as the Sixers come back again. A 1-point margin. Twice they've done this today from 15. Thompson brings it up. The first time they came back, they went ahead, but only briefly. Thompson tripped by Bibby. Bibby saying he ran over my foot.
This is one of those fouls that's really distressing. You're playing good defense. You think you got him. Here he actually does a little slip and trips over Bibby. It probably could have gone the other way, but unfortunately for the 76ers, Thompson's at the line again.
For Bibby, his 4th personal. Thompson opens it to 2. 27 points for David Thompson. He leads everybody. That won't go. Dawkins way up on the rebound. Bibby working the right side against Scott from the lane. Offensive foul call against Henry Bibby.
Tommy Nunez making this call. Henry Bibby changing direction. Charging foul called on Bibby.
Well, there might have been a little question about that one, too.
Well, I've seen them go both ways on that type of play.
Like Scott came over a little on him. 103-101. Denver ball. Thompson.
It's almost impossible to guard him in that type of situation. He's one-on-one, and he just jumps over top of you and shoots it.
105-101. Henry Bibby's had a hot hand, but he misses that one. Issel rebound.
Not a good shot by Henry Bibby. They probably should have worked the ball a little more for a better shot.
McGinnis, watched by Caldwell Jones. Thompson, watched by Bibby. Thompson with Boswell. Traveling called on Boswell, no basket.
That time they isolated David Thompson again, and you see Julius Irving come over to help out. Kicks it off to Tom Boswell, but Boswell's called for traveling.
Coming up after our telecast today as we look at a final here, 99-89. Washington coming from behind to beat Golden State. We'll be going to the Los Angeles Open where Kermit Zarley is the leader, 8 under par. Lon Hinkle and Lanny Watkins are 2 strokes behind at -6. We'll be going out to Los Angeles following our telecast. Irving driving the lane. The basket is good with a little finger roll, and he was fouled.
As I've mentioned before, I thought the 76ers would go to Julius down low against Boswell. Here you see Julius with just too much quickness and speed for Boswell, going to the hoop, getting the finger roll, and a potential three-point play, which could put them within 1.
105-103. Been a whale of a ball game. Denver getting out well in the first period. Philadelphia battling back for a brief lead. Denver opening again to 15, and here we are with a 1-point margin, 4:19 to play. Scott to McGinnis. Money on Scott, steal by Irving. Irving in the middle of the money, back for Irving. Too much traffic inside an offensive foul against Irving.
Here we have the pass off to Julius Irving. He's going to the hoop, but the Denver defender, believe David Thompson, standing right there in his way. Good call by the official, but on the other end of the floor, Julius Irving made a great play. He played the defense in such a way that he kept contact with the ball and his man and made a gamble, made the steal. Possibly could have gotten a play at the other end, but it didn't work out for him.
105-104, Denver by 1. Thompson for Boswell. Boswell's got some room, now off to Issel. Issel off the iron. Rebound, Caldwell Jones. Cheeks out for Irving. Reaches back to control that good pass to Dawkins. And it drops. McGinnis got a piece of it, but the ball dropped anyway. Quickly back, Denver. 105-106. Denver down by a point now. Rebound by Dawkins. The Sixers coming alive again. They lead by 1.
Here you have Julius out there trying to get him to settle down to get this thing back together. They got the lead. He's controlling the tempo.
Timeout is called by Philadelphia. 3:20 remaining in the fourth period. Philadelphia 106, Denver 105.
For days you fought the mountain for a 90-ton slab of granite. And now you hold your breath while you bring it out until it swings free and clear. Now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear, Miller Beer.
This is it.
This is it, America, the new Chevrolet.
America, if you're looking for a full-size car that goes easy on the gas
This is it.
and easy on the road,
This is it.
a car with all kinds of room inside,
This is it.
the new Chevrolet, a new generation car bought and embraced by more than 1 million people in its first 2 years. Caprice and Impala for $1979.
This is it, America, the new Chevrolet.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
You're confirmed in Chicago and St. Louis. And you're going to love the ending.
Meet our people-pleasing faces.
Holiday Inn Hotels are #1 in the world, with the best locations near where you want to be.
I can walk.
The most popular choice of locations.
Wherever you go in this whole big traveling world.
We want to make you comfortable.
Holiday Inn is #1 people-pleasing.
We have 3:20 to play in a tremendous game, similar to the one played earlier at the Spectrum. That went into overtime. It could easily happen here. And every time these two teams lock horns, we get this kind of a contest. Twice, Philadelphia has come from 15 down. They now lead by 1, 106-105. Money inside, and it bounces around the rim and in, 108-105. In the last 6 minutes, Philadelphia has outscored Denver 21-3. And that has turned the tide to a 3-point margin for the 76ers. Issel, watched by Dawkins. Foul call off the ball. Charlie Scott.
We have Charlie Scott. He was down in low against Eric Money that time, fighting for position. And what happened was Charlie, in trying to assume position, got a little elbow across the body of Money.
108-105, 2:52 to play regulation time. Cheeks to Dawkins. Dawkins watched by Issel. Feeding off to Cheeks. Irving waving for the ball in the lane. Cheeks couldn't get it to him. Money. That's off the back rim. Rebound Denver, but a foul call. Pushing. George McGinnis.
Here we have the shot clock running down. Money throws up a prayer. Here we have Caldwell Jones being pushed by McGinnis, protesting vehemently. Caldwell Jones going to the line to try and increase the lead.
5th foul on George McGinnis. 3-point Philadelphia margin. What a comeback today by this club. But there's lots of time for it to go either way. 2:34. We talked about the doctor's ailments. You can see he's taped up that left leg from the toes to the hip.
And you can tell that this is his type of game. Every time down the floor, he wants the ball. He's the type of player that's really going to cause you to become effective.
Charlie Scott brings it up court. Welcome to the fans who have just joined us from the Knicks Nets game here in Denver. The 76ers in red, the Denver Nuggets in white. It is 110-107. Philadelphia leading by 3. 2:09 to play regulation time. This has been a dandy all the way Twice Philadelphia's come from 15 behind, and they now lead by 3. They have the ball. The doctor, Julius Irving. Air ball. Caldwell Jones is there to get it, but he's blocked by Charlie Scott, who now comes down with that rebound. Thompson with the ball for Denver. Off to Scott. Watched by Dawkins. Driving foul called.
Here we have Charlie Scott with a little hesitation. He gets Daryl Dawkins off guard momentarily. He goes into the hoop. Dawkins with the body. Charlie Scott at the line. 3 for 2.
Daryl Dawkins, 4th foul. And Scott makes one to close the margin to 2. Tim Ryan and John Havlicek here at the McNichols Sports Arena in Denver. Scott with 2 makes the margin 1 for Philadelphia. Welcome to the fans joining us from the San Antonio-Houston game. It is 110 to 109 for Philadelphia as Cheeks misses, but Dawkins converts the rebound. 112 to 109. Philadelphia in front by 3, 120 remaining in regulation time. Denver with the ball.
That time we had a little acting by George McGinnis. He wanted the foul to go his way, but they didn't call it. Good play by Maurice Cheeks up to the doctor.
Irving all by himself.
House call.
114 to 109. Timeout called by the Nuggets. Tim Ryan and John Havlicek here as we watch the doctor do his thing on a great play by Maurice Cheeks, the rookie from West Texas State. So the 76ers have battled back. They lead it by 5, 106 to play.
Guilty. Not guilty. 6 votes guilty, 6 votes not guilty.
Not again.
This could go on all day. Bailiff! Pass out the right guard deodorant.
Good.
We got stick or spray.
With Right Guard, stick or spray protects all day. They don't just cover up odor, they help stop odor before it starts. All day.
6 took stick, 6 took spray. It's unanimous.
Right Guard deodorant. Don't get dressed without it.
You're feeling good about yourself. The way you should about yourself.
You're feeling good about yourself, and it shows. You're drinking 1-calorie Diet Pepsi-Cola, the taste that's changing the taste of America.
And you're drinking Diet Pepsi. Yeah, you're drinking Diet Pepsi. And it shows.
Avis Super Saver rates. Special rates that save you money. Like our 7-day See America rate.
Look out, L.A. Bye.
Or our special holiday rates.
We get to go to the grandmother's house. Yeah.
And on weekends, Avis Super Saver rates can save you up to 50% off our weekday rates.
50% off?
Up to 50%.
See you Monday.
Call our toll-free number or your travel consultant. Some restrictions do apply.
Here in Denver, it is the Nuggets ball. They trail by 5 after leading most of this game. Those of you who have just tuned in to CBS Sports to see the Los Angeles Open will be going to it right at the conclusion of this game. We have 1:03 to play, regulation time, and Wilkerson misses. Maurice Cheeks comes down with it for the 76ers in red, the Nuggets in white. Tim Ryan and John Havlicek here in Denver. It has been a tremendous basketball game. 50 seconds on the clock, 14 on the shot clock as Maurice Cheeks, the rookie from West Texas State, controls in the forecourt, trying to use up as much time as possible. Here is Dr. J driving baseline. Now off to Dawkins. 1 shot, 1 second on the clock, and Dawkins hits. We have 36 seconds remaining, and 116 to 109, the Philadelphia score, with Philadelphia on top and a timeout called by Denver, John.
At this point, the 76ers came back into the game. They were down by 15 twice. They're back into it mainly on the play of Caldwell Jones. Julius Irving gave them a great deal of impetus. I mean, he just transpired something to every member of that club, and they put it together. Now they're ahead here by 7. The Nuggets called a timeout with 1:14 to go. They wanted to get the ball to Thompson. Couldn't do it. Got it into Bobby Wilkerson, who forced one underneath, and that just about closed the door.
All right, we'd like to thank our producer here this afternoon, Robert D. Stenner, and our director, Tony Verna. Watch the Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes tonight on CBS, directed by Mr. Verne as well. Our associate producer, Ray Ball, this afternoon. Our engineer in charge, Walter Pyle. Technical director, Phil Alland. Audio, Bob Kellison and Chuck Kirkaby. Thanks to the crew here in Denver and those coming in from Los Angeles to help us put this telecast on the air. We've had an outstanding basketball game. It looks right now like the 76ers are going to hang on to win it. 36 seconds remaining, and twice they battle back. And we'll be going directly to the Los Angeles Open Golf Tournament following our telecast, where the leader at last report was Kermit Lon Hinkle, has just moved into the lead, with Kermit Zarley and Lanny Watkins right there with him. So exciting golf action follows at the conclusion of our NBA telecast. Denver will inbounds the ball. Scott to Issel. David Thompson, what a day he's had for Denver. Off the back rim, Issel rebounds. He was blocked from behind by Jones, gets it again, and Thompson up follows. 116 to 111, 26 seconds on the clock. Denver pressing way down court here, trying to get that ball, but Money breaks out. Eric Money, number 22, 2 men on him. He gets it to Dawkins. Outside to Irving. 116, 111, Philadelphia leads. Caldwell Jones way down in the corner. Money, Irving, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Irving driving, and it's good. It'll count that he was fouled in the lane. Dan Issel. That ought to do it, John.
Here we have Julius Irving going to the basket. Another strange call. I thought Dan Issel had position there, but it went the other way to the offensive player. Julius Irving in there for a potential three-point play.
4 seconds remaining. Irving on the line, and as John Havlicek pointed out, Irving getting a lot more playing time in the second half, favoring an injured ankle that kept him out of Friday night's game in San Diego. Really sparked the 76ers, but Caldwell Jones brought him back into the game early. When they were down 15 for the first time in the first half, Caldwell Jones went to work, and time expires here with the Philadelphia 76ers winning a come-from-behind victory, 119 to 111. And the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award goes to Caldwell Jones of the Philadelphia 76ers. He had 20 points on the game, 16 rebounds, and just had himself an outstanding afternoon, and particularly bringing the 76ers back closer at halftime. They might have been blown out, John. So the Chevrolet 1000 scholarship will be awarded to Albany State College on behalf of Caldwell Jones of Philadelphia. The final score, the 76ers 119, the Denver Nuggets 111. For John Havlicek, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from Denver, Colorado. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. Ready to score, so let the game begin. And let's see.
This is CBS. CBS Sports proudly presents the PGA Tour from the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, California. CBS Sports